As you can hear, there's a little thunder in the background. Haven't done a walkthrough in the garden for a while. This seems to be a little out of focus. There we go. Let's back up a little. Okay, this row is the row that has the cucumbers in it. So far, we've not really had much production out of this one. I'll zoom in on that one. There are some white cucumbers here. This thing will focus. And I, after that, planted some other things. That is a Kahari melon, which is like from Pakistan. This row, that's about as tall as I am at this point, is got like a row and a half of tomatoes that were from my Uncle Dennis. He gave me some of his yellow cherry tomatoes. Right here we got a trellis that's going to be growing some long beans. A couple of them have broken the surface. This huge section here is the Acorn Squash, and there is quite a lot of it. And we have 2.5 rows of tomatoes, and a lot of these plants are getting close to 5 foot tall, so hopefully they'll be pumping out lots of stuff. On this end, we have a trellis and a tripod with cucumbers. We've probably already gotten close to a dozen cucumbers out of it. Back here's a couple right now that I just picked within the last couple of minutes. Down the end, there's a pepper plant and a couple of tiger melon plants. And there's also another tiger melon up here. There's a couple of broccoli plants there. Towards the back, where we can't quite see it at the moment, there is 2 watermelon plants. And over here is the other garden, which I'll zoom rather than walk. A couple rows of tomatoes on the end. Wow, this is out of focus. Zucchini plants. We've gotten a few zucchini of over a foot tall, or over a foot long so far. I'll walk over and see if maybe it'll focus better when I'm closer. We had planted 2 rows of cauliflower, but for some reason a number of the plants either got eaten or didn't come up. But it looks like we've got about 7 or 8 that are still working. This is the weird thing. I will have to show you this a little more up close. These tiny little things, the biggest of which is maybe a foot tall, are, we found out, dwarf tomato plants. And that's what that looks. That's the biggest one of the bunch. These are supposed to be bright orange. They're known as Venus tomato plants. Have a row of miscellaneous carrots. Yeah, so far none of them seem to be very big. It's like mixed colors. Planted a row of beets, and presently there are only 2 plants that survived or grew. A row of pepper plants which have yet to produce, and 2 more rows of another variety of tomato plants. We might as well keep walking since there's other stuff yet. We have rhubarb that was planted from seed a few years ago. We've had it in a pot, and we just got it in the ground recently. It's planted along the side of the shed here. And now we're going to walk over here, and over here by a tree stump we have 2 spaghetti squash plants. The vine seems to be growing well so far. No actual, fruit, vegetable, whatever you want to call it. Then we'll walk this way. Over there on the trellis, we tried starting some pea pods, and so far, out of like 8 vines I planted, I think there's only 2 that are still alive. Soil quality over there isn't too hot. Here, I started up a couple different varieties of peppers, one there, and another kind over here. Those two things in the pots are avocado trees that we started from seed. It's going to take a few years to get them to actually produce anything. I think it takes 6 to 7 years. On the back here are 3 strawberry plants from Michigan, which came from Sarah's parents' house. We had a lot more, but the sun kind of beat up the rest of them, so we put these in a more shaded area. Front row here, those little green bits just coming up along the edge on the inside are carrot plants. Now we have a bunch of seedlings here for broccoli, broccolini, and on a blank, romaine lettuce. Got some basil. This cherry tomato plant, quite large and quite unusual. Got this at when we went on a field trip with Jaden. Those tomatoes, when they're ripe, will be black, supposedly. They're called black cherry tomatoes. And back there is a strawberry plant. The plant's growing great, but it's not actually producing any strawberries. I don't know if we're going to have to wait till next year. And that appears to be everything we have and what it looks like now in mid-July.